Hello student, today's topic is industrialization in the early years of Indian independence. The first modern industries in India were cotton, jute, coal mines and railways. After independence, the government took over the commanding heights of the economy. This involved defense, transport and communication, power, mining and other projects which only government had the power to do and which was also necessary for private industry to flourish. In India's mixed economy policy, some sectors were reserved for government, while others were open to the private sector. But within that, the government tried to ensure through its licensing policy that industries were spread over different regions. Before independence, industries were located mainly in the port cities like Madras, Bombay, Calcutta, but since then, we see that places like Baroda, Coimbatore, Bengaluru, Pune, Faridabad, and Rajkot have become the important industrial centers. The government also tried to encourage the small scale sector through special incentives and assistance. Many items like paper and wood product, stationery, glass, and ceramics were reserved for the small scale sector. In 1991, large scale industry employed only 28% of the total workforce engaged in the manufacture, while the small scale and traditional industry employed 72%. Now, the next topic is globalization and liberalization and changes in Indian industry. Since the 1990s, however, the government has followed a policy of liberalization. Private companies, especially foreign firms, are encouraged to invest in sectors earlier reserved for the government, including telecom, civil aviation, power, etc. Licenses are no longer required to open industries. Foreign products are now easily available in Indian shops. As a result of liberalization, many Indian companies have been bought over by multinationals. At the same time, some Indian companies are becoming multinational companies. An instance of the first is when Parle Drinks was bought by Coca-Cola. Parle's annual turnover was rupees 250 crore, while Coca-Cola advertising budget alone was rupees 400 crore. This level of advertising has naturally increased the consumption of Coke across India, replacing many traditional drinks. The next major area of liberalization may be in retail. The government is trying to sell its share in several public sector companies, a process which is known as disinvestment. Many government workers are scared that after disinvestment, they will lose their jobs. In modern foods, which was set up by the government to make healthy bread available at cheap prices, and which was the first company to be privatized, 60% of the workers were forced to retire in the first 5 years. The summary is India is still largely an agricultural country. The service sector, shops, banks, and IT industry, hostel, and other services are employing more people, and the urban middle class is growing. Along with urban middle class, values like those we see in the television, serials, and films. But we also see that Very few people in India have access to secure jobs, with even the small number of regular salaried employment becoming more insecure due to the rise in contract labor. So far, employment by the government was a major avenue for increasing the well being of the population. But now, even that is coming down. Some economists debate this, but liberalization and privatization worldwide appear to be associated with rising income inequality. You will be reading more about this in the next chapter on globalization. At the same time, a secure employment in large industry is declining. The government is embarking on a policy of land acquisition for industry. These industries do not necessarily provide employment to the people of the surrounding areas, but they cause major pollution. Many farmers, especially Adivasis, who constitute approximately 40% of those displaced, are protesting at the low rates of the compensation and the fact that they will be forced to become casual labor, living and working on the footpaths of India's big cities. You will recall the discussion on competing interest in the next chapter.